Okay, so welcome. So this is just for anyone who's catching the replay. Just let me know. I'll drop this on YouTube, so as a private link, and so you'll all have access to that. So that'll be in the Intuitive Trader Telegram thread. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and what's really important is that we start to awaken to not only what's happening in the digital world, but how Wall Street and how the markets and how energetically everything is aligning. So it all matters in this space. So Intuitive Trader will be about us really discerning what's really going on. And so there's a lot of spiritual people out there, but not everyone's awake. So I am going to be pushing your boundaries in terms of it's time to wake up. And the reason is we have a responsibility as leaders, as business owners, as women of children, as guides, as healers. We have a responsibility. You cannot heal unless you know the truth. And so there's many of your friends, and you'll start to see some really big money stories show up. Many of your friends have got their hands in all sorts of pies, and they think that they know what's going on, when really what it's about is actually coming back to self and grounding. Now, the biggest message that I got for today's session, I'm actually working with the winds at the moment in shaman teacher training. Some of you know this. And the wind that I pulled for the year is south-southwest doldrums. And for the sailors or those who know about wind, is, there's certain areas in the world where you can actually be in that space where there's no wind. Now, interesting how this relates to real world. And also this relates to what's going on in the digital space and relates to all of you. So what's really important here for the next 3 months is that you are grounding and discerning, and not just jumping the gun and flying money everywhere and then being disappointed with yourself because you haven't done this or you haven't done that, because all those energies are really showing up. Now, I can feel you. I can feel you across the water. I can feel you in your home. You can feel me. So we're all connected. And so when you're worried about the 1 cent, or you're not making the transition, or you've got your money everywhere, I can feel it. I know exactly what's going on, because you know what's going on with me. We're very intuitive women. And so what we're going to do is we're going to really harness that, and we're going to leverage this digital intel that we're getting, we're getting so many messages daily. Okay, so we're going to get that and we're going to ground that. So where I'm going with that is that if you do learn something, because what's going to happen is your mind is going to open up, your awareness is going to open up. But if you do learn something, please trial it and discern it before you drop it, if that makes sense. It's like we get really excited about different platforms and different products. And what my goal here is to keep you focused and to keep you, because there's so much going on, and to get the framework done, to get the foundations done. So some of you, know how to earn money. Some of you know how to hold it. That's where I've been working on, is the holding. So this 3 months together will actually be, and it could be a month. You might feel that, after a month, you're good to fly. You can fly anytime you wish. But what I want you to really recognize is the card that I pulled, South-Southwest doldrums, is for a reason. It's because we've all got this time now to really focus on what this is about and what we really want to build for the future. So this is about building eco-enterprise, so digital platforms and going into ecosystems that are global, that are not closed, that are open sourced and decentralized. So I can go way deep on the tech and we will get there. So just for those high performing women who want it all now, let's just sit with me on this, and let's just step by step, let's build the foundations. It's almost like we're stripping back everything that we've learned, and we're coming back to true self. And we're building our dream portfolios. We're getting the passive income come through. There's so much money available to you. If only you knew. I'm going to try and drop some hints on what's available to you. And, when you know women that are going, oh, I haven't got $30, or I haven't got $50, or I haven't got any money, well, that's just another money story showing up. And so I invite women to just look at this. Just come into this space, just have a look at this. All this time, the reason you haven't come into cryptocurrency before, or you haven't come into open trading before is because it's never felt right. And that's because your intuition is on point. So, and your intellect and your intel that you're getting is on point. So what I might do, are there any questions? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the outline of 3 months together. We may drop in, depending on your questions, and do some skills training. There's a couple of things that I want to show you. I want to share my screen. I want to share the vision. And I want to just sort of do a little bit of logistics. So not too heavy on the skills for the first session. And then we can kind of work out where we go from there. So does that sound okay for everyone? So a couple of questions dropping and we'll address those soon. So I'll just share over. And unmute yourselves, like you don't need to stay muted, but it's just if you're listening, I will talk. But I guess I want to make sure that, you know, whatever I'm sharing is relevant. Okay. So I'm just, where am I going? Recent. I should have this open. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks for unmuting because it's like I can't see you. Can't see you all. Okay, cool. All right. So welcome to the 3-month immersion. And I'm just going to go through, I don't have a lot of slides. I'm not very structured in this way. I just want to tell you how this came about. So Digital Intel Women was like an inspired action. I woke up one morning and I thought, women need to know this stuff. Okay, crypto's not going away. Digital's not going away. There's so many of you that know a lot. You're actually trading already. But it's like you were looking for a space and it was like, okay, I've got all this info on my heart. How do I get this out? And so this is how it came about. Now, the reason it's Digital Intel Women is because it has 2 L's, is because that is the better in numerology. It was like a 988, and that means wealth. So everything that I do, intuitive trader, it's not the intuitive trader. It's intuitive trader for a reason, because everything's done with numerology. Okay, so I've also done a prayer for you in this space with the wind work that I'm working with. And this month I'm actually working with Mari, which is the wind of Basque. And she is flowing through this program, and this is the awakening. This is the freshening. So I invite women to have a look at something completely fresh, and we discern and grow together. Okay, so that's the evolution of how this all came about. And so the Intuitive Trader Immersion is a forum for us to get on the calls weekly and just ask questions. It'll be really informal, and it will be, I'll drop intel, I'll drop economic updates, I'll drop world events and things like that. And then we get to go, and I'll literally share my screen if you need to know something about a different platform. Now, you're all from all around the world, so you're all using different platforms. I recommend certain ones, and I still get resistance on some of those. The reason I recommend those ones is because they've stood the test of time. I know a lot of you like other things and this is part of the lesson, right? It's like, because a lot of those platforms have gone down lately. So, I mean, it's all happening behind the scenes. This is the most divine time to get into this space. I mean, the Federal Reserve has just gone offline. I mean, my goodness. So like everything's happening. And I'm going to share where I get my intel so that you can start opening your mind to this stuff. Okay, so by the end of our time together, you'll be strong and certain in your decision-making, be able to discern a good investment through analysis and intuition, be aware of the connection with real world events, and trade with independence and freedom. So that's my vision for you, or my mission, is that you're independent and you're able to hold an awesome crypto conversation at the table, and you'll recognize ego. There's so much ego in this space, and you'll recognize it. And I've been slapped in the face many times where my ego has led, when really my pendulum should have led the way. So we will be using pendulums, we will be using muscle testing, we will be using our intuition to make trades. So this is where it really gets fun. And I have to tell you that when I don't listen to the pendulum, it becomes a mind analysis, and it never works. It's never worked in that way.
Judy's in the waiting room.
What's that, love?
Judy is in the waiting room.
I can't hear you for some reason. It's really blurry.
Judy King is in the waiting room. I'll send it in the chat.
Can anyone else hear me?
Lee, she's saying Judy King's sitting in the waiting room to be let in.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. Just
No.
check. I need an assistant. I need an assistant. Hey, Judy, I think she's coming in now. So we're just going through a couple of slides and then we'll kind of open it up. So the vision is empowering women globally to awaken to what's possible, discern a good investment and harness her divine wisdom to acknowledge an integral, authentically aligned eco-enterprise framework in the new world of digital. It is a new world. It's a new energy. It's a new world. It's not the way that we used to build business. It's not the way we used to learn within, I guess, large communities, MLM style. That's all gone away. We now are empowered to have our own portfolio set up, and we're not reliant on someone else building and someone else moving or having to coach anybody else or having to guide anybody else. We are fully in charge of our own portfolio. And so we focus on clean and green trading and investing. So she is a divinely guided woman who cares about her environment. Now, a few people have asked me about what is clean and green. Clean means that there's no fraud attached. I've researched the founders. Their intentions are clean. It's not funding illegal crime, so keep your eyes on the market, what's going on in the media. Mainstream media is dropping some intel, and you can almost take that as a piece to then dive deeper in what's really going on. And the green stuff is really around efficiency. So that I'm partial to XRP because it's 57,000 more times more efficient than Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin utility and the value is just made up, which is why a lot of healing women have got into it, but not really gone far with it or not really done much with it. Now for Megan, it's really served you well and nourished you. And I think it's time for all of us to go, thanks very much for the education. Thanks very much for the learning. Thanks for the money and what you've provided Bitcoin, but now it's time to retire because it's such old technology. So I share a lot of this stuff in the emails and things like that, but it's just to give you the background. If you're ever sharing with someone else, why not Bitcoin? You can delve into that and really go deep down some rabbit holes around what it's been funding. So our 3 months together, relax, set the foundations. We're in the doldrums, literally. So this is where we're really getting laser clear on what will that foundation be, okay? And we're slowly building wealth. So to build wealth, you've got to put up right ahead all the money stories that are showing up, and we've all got them. Generational patterns. Money story for me would be something like, I feel like I'm always missing the boat, like I'm not in at the right time. So what I do now is I get right in at 0.001 for coins that will go up in value. So we really start together. We really start to get this, as a high performing woman, I had to kind of take a step back and start to invest at the ground roots level, lay those roots, put them firmly in the ground, do the healing. There's lots of different ways that you can do that, but just continually do healing, kinesiology, frequency therapy, just keep doing the healing. We're going to dive into astrology, numerology, 5-element theory, because it all matters. I have my green juice today. It all matters to give you a clear head and be able to diligently transfer coins from one place to another to make decisions. You cannot make decisions on a foggy brain. So learning is absolutely essential. We'll look at brain gym. You must keep your frequency high. If you bring all your baggage and your worry and everything to the table, it just festers. It's really an abundant space. It's just being aware of how your energy is impacting your portfolio that day, because it does. It has. And so if we can just bring this intricate awareness to what we're doing inside cryptocurrency trading digital, it's going to make a huge difference at the end of 3 months together. So we're going to do some skills-based training. We're going to do some analysis. I'm going to share what's going on, why this crypto over this crypto, and then you get to make your own decisions. Okay, because what's going to happen is your awareness is going to expand so much that you're already looking at other coins. And I will drop those coins as well, and I'll drop why I think that they're going to be a good investment, with the foundations being XRP. And then, we'll look at utility and value. We'll look at the awakening, real world events. We're going to look at Forex, shares, all those kinds of things because I'm interested in some particular companies, and I'll share why. And then we might go advanced and we'll go into the betting side of things where you can increase your portfolio 400%, based on risk management techniques. But that's where it really gets fun. Now, not everybody around the world will be able to play in that space, but you'll be able to see what's possible because there'll be new products in the US coming out. The US, we're actually leading, we're following the US, yet a lot of your platforms, they're kind of forming at the moment. And so you might feel like, oh, I'm kind of out of the loop. Well, actually, you're not. You're leading the way in the US. So the UK is following you, Australia is following you. It's just that we're in this space and learning as much as possible. And I'm going to be doing the training on how to transition those who received their Spark Drop for XRP on December 12. I'm going to help you be part of the Flare network. If you weren't part of the Spark Drop on December 12, that would just mean that you had XRP at that time in a wallet that was approved to receive the Spark Drop. And for those people who didn't get the December 12, that's okay. We're going to show you how to go into the network and actually be part of that ecosystem, yield daily and be active. So passive income, from my perspective, has kind of gone away. It's more active income. And so it almost does become a lifestyle, because I've noticed that women are actually going, I want to do this full time. Because there's so many elements to it, like there's world events, there's this, there's that, there's so many elements to this. This is not just putting in money and that's it. This is just such a healing experience. You'll be different women. Eyes wide open to world events. You'll notice that I drop all sorts of things in and they all mean something. And so if you don't know what they mean, or you're like, need to ask a question, then you ask that in Digital Intel Women and you become empowered. That space becomes really active. So that you use that platform rather than sending me private messages to be able to help, because we all want to help each other. So if you can start using that platform for support, the Digital Intel Women chat, and obviously if it goes on and on and on, then you might need to reach out direct, or there might be something specific that you need help with. But yeah, most of the time the women in there can support you. And so you'll see me drop stuff like this. There's so much going on. Now, what's here is what's called the Flare network. These are all the coins that support, and I'm going to go through a couple of these. The coins to have right now are XRP, XDC, and Dogecoin. Doge. I don't know why I call it Dodge. It's like you're dodging something. It's actually dog. Anyways, that was actually done as a bit of a joke, but it's got utility now, so it won't be as high as XRP, but it will be supporting the XRP network. So these are the fun stuff. We have so much fun, and some of the wallets that we use, you get automatic avatars given, and I just want to see your avatar because they're so funny. And so it's really important that we play in this space because it's so light. The energy of this new ecosystem is so light and so playful. And if you can just be like full on digi-savvy mum, who's fully in the know, this sort of stuff will be in schools soon anyway, and will be in education for kids. So if you can really start to see the memes that go on and really start to understand where they're coming from, so this particular meme is hilarious because it's like, where's the dog kind of thing. So the dog coin was a bit of a joke from Elon Musk. And it's like, and then it starts to go in a little bit deeper. If you know what's going on, where's the effing cat? Now, that's one dimensional, but the second dimensional is that the Flare ecosystem is going to go into YFIN and going to go into like more detail. So the dog is not really going to be doing much, hasn't really got a job. So it's like, if you start to learn it on a more of an analytical level, there's so much more to these memes. Okay, and what's coming? So this is the Flare Finance Network. This is what's coming. I'm going to share screen in a sec and show you Referral, which is the tokenization and where my token is held and what tokens are all about. Some of you are already in this space. The fundamentals, clean and green, solves a real world problem. Is there a competitor that does it better? Because, is it really a good investment? The thing is, in the beginning of crypto, that you see all this stuff happening and you're like, you want to get in. Some of them are at $20 already, and that's not really a good investment, because even though you can see things going up, like Bitcoin, you can see it going up, it's really, the return is not really that great. It's deceiving the eye. So we'll go and have a look at the analysis on that. Trading essentials, two-factor authentication on everything. Safe wallet, so we use Exodus, which seems to be the consensus around the world. It's not a great wallet for swapping and trading because it's quite expensive. It's running on the Ethereum network, but we will go into that detail when the Flare network comes into play. That will take over all that because it's a lot more efficient. So you need to be able to send and receive cryptocurrency. So if you don't know how to do that, then we need to learn that. Deposit funds, as in like, be okay with it. Try all the different methods that you've got available to you in that wallet, and just do $20 if you're so worried about it. Kate's all in there. She's just like, right, I've got XDC, and she just bought it with a credit card. And I'm like, whoa. So, you know, what I'm noticing is that women get really savvy in this space. And that's what I love about it. But I think it's really important, if you are savvy on the digital, is to have a look at the other aspects of this whole portfolio. And definitely be liquid, know how to get money out, know how to sell, know how to get money, know how to put it into your bank account, know how to use a crypto card, which they're all different ones coming on the market, and we can have a play and have a look at the ones that are available in the US. I would say with US, probably wait a little bit longer as new products come on board. We are using Wirex in Australia, which is awesome, but it's not the best currency exchange, but it's just getting women used to using a Visa and swiping and paying for stuff, which is super cool. Okay, skimming for profits, a few people have asked me. So that's when you're investing in a low entry asset, and when the market is red, which means it's going down, and then when the asset moves up, increases like 50%, you know, low assets move huge amounts, up to 600%. You grab the $200 and $100 and you cash out. So you either sell or you send it to your crypto Visa card. So you're actually using that money, you're nourishing yourself, you're skimming profits, or you buy another coin. So, you know, there's loads of options. Now, when you're starting at $100 or $50, it just takes a little while, but it won't be long before you can do this activity. It's like everyone comes in and they're like, right, I've got $100, I'm ready to skim. It doesn't quite work like that. Okay, you've got to build your portfolio, and you've got to build your confidence, and you've got to build your certainty with your intuition to make good decisions. And you've got to learn the clean and green, so that your heart and your soul feels really good with what you're doing, and you get educated. So even if you've only got $100, at least look at the education that you're getting for that. So and look at the immersion. Being around women who are abundant and intelligent, things are just going to absolutely skyrocket for you, just even being in this community, being in this space. Just me having a bit of fun is because, you know, if you build a portfolio that nourishes and uplifts your spirit rather than be a to-do job. So I've really noticed a shift in women. They really feel invigorated, and it lights them up, you know. And when the markets are down, our energy is down. It's really interesting. So it's showing us, you know, how impacted we are by money. And, you know, if we've set an intention to be loyal and commit to money, then you need to commit and not be so quick to jump around all the different coins. You can be a floozy and have lots of coins, or you can be loyal and you can have one coin and be certain with it. So see how it all plays out. Just a bit of fun on the things that we're looking at, retreats, and, you know, places that really light you up, that you're able to, you know, because we know that learning in this space, women get really frustrated and confused and overwhelmed. This is about actually letting go of all that, and anything that's taking your bandwidth, just get rid of it, and just set the intention to focus on your digital portfolio, because everything will stem from that. So that's just a bit of fun, inspiring you. Okay, so now we get to the heavy stuff. So just a quick snapshot. I'm not sure how this random drawing got down here, but it's just showing you. So over here, we've got Ripple. Can you all see that? I'm not sure if you can see my pointer, but just showing you Ripple, IOTA, Stellar, Zinfin, which is XDC. It's just showing you that there's infrastructure in place that are ISO 20022. That is really important. ISO regulated. A lot of the coins are not. These all have quantum hacking measures in place. They are part of the quantum financial system. Okay, so that means you're part of the new age, really. And so all these MLMs and all these other systems, not a lot of them are part of this. And even when I've asked them, and even though they sound so intelligent, they don't know what this is, or they say it's not coming in forever. Well, I can tell you now, it's in the US now. It was beta tested for the last 3 years. It's already in play. So if you've got someone telling you, oh no, it's not coming yet, you don't need to worry about that. Well, you'll be educated enough to know that actually it's really important. So I'm going to stop sharing soon. Just digital intel women. If you need any details, I keep changing the color schemes. I'm just going with the flow on, where we're going with this, because as you know, it was just me woke up one morning and thought I need to get all this off my heart and into some sort of format. But like, that's kind of how we're going to roll together. So there's no sort of set structure. So for those high performing women who love structure, we're going to have to come to some sort of agreement on how we're going to play in this space. So there's a few questions. So just unmute yourselves and let me know what questions you have, and then we might jump over to a bit of skills training. Healy, I was running Aura and also I'm running the love frequencies now and the wealth frequencies, of course, because I've got a lot of money stuff to shift, so a lot of women coming into this space actually have bigger portfolios than me. This is not about how much money you've got or how much portfolio. The key is to learning, getting in at the grassroots and really learning how much a transaction costs. And going, I don't want to work on that Ethereum network anymore. I've got women saying, oh, it's too expensive. It's like 0.001. Now, if that was thousands, we wouldn't have noticed that. And this is probably where the gaps and the leakage have been in your money stories all the way through business, because you haven't been aware of what's really going on. So there's so much happening. So any questions? Cool. Judy's got COINSPOT and Luno. The reason that I choose COINSPOT in Australia is because it stood the test of time and it was part of the snapshot. I wasn't aware that Luno was going to make it. I like Luno. I like them all. There's so many fantastic wallets, and I think it's just a personal choice. I think, I will be recommending certain ones because I know what's coming and I know where the regulations are. So, for example, eToro went down and I don't know if it's back up yet. So there's, COINSPOT has stood the test of time for Australia. Crypto.com has stood the test of time for those in the US and also for Europe. But it looks more tradey. And so it's a little bit more, it's harder to start. But once you've learned that platform, everything else is a breeze. But what I recommend is don't hold your coins in those wallets. Never hold your coins in a wallet, like an exchange wallet, always to a safe wallet. Some of you have external wallets. We haven't really gone there yet. We don't really, in this community, we don't really have enough, but we will go to external wallets soon. So that's pretty cool, hey? So when our portfolio is so big that we'll be going to external wallets. So yeah, so Exodus is the private, I guess it's built to hold securely, whereas COINSPOT's built to exchange, Luno's built to exchange, eToro is built to exchange, Crypto.com to exchange. Leslie, what have you got? You've got Crypto.com, haven't you?
Yeah, Crypto.com's one of the main ones I use, but I've got a number of wallets downloaded.
And I have too, because there were certain coins that were put through specific wallets. Now, I might just, is everyone okay if I just keep rolling? If I just do some skills training and I just jump in if you're like, oh, no, it's too much or whatever. And then just ask questions as we go. Share screen again.
I'm super
Can I
excited.
just jump in?
That helps.
Oh, that's good news, Kate. Thank you. Anyone else? Sorry, I missed
yeah, it's a little bit noisy here, so hopefully you can hear me. So is Exodus more of a private wallet then? So if I had coins in COINSPOT, I would transfer that across to Exodus, or what do you recommend that?
100%. So if you've got volume, so more than $1,000 worth in COINSPOT, you'd be starting to send to Exodus.
Yeah,
Exodus,
I do.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Exodus, I'll just share my screen. Can you all see my screen? So I'll just show you what.
Yes.
Some of you have already shared this Exodus, but it's just so you know what it looks like. So the app is awesome. It's very Venus. It's really like sexy. And you need to download the software. So if you ever need to get onto the desktop, I like women to first learn on the desktop, but there's something really sexy about Exodus Wallet. Just be mindful of, don't send too many coins between other wallets because it costs quite a lot. Just check the pricing. But we can go through that separately if you need to, for anyone who's not sure. I think more advanced that you get, you'll see, oh, there's some coins I have 1,000 XRP, but I can see that ADA is going up, and then I'm going to switch to ADA, and you'll see the prices. You'll see that it's costing you about $10 on the Ethereum network. So that's what I call, the floozy, and I'm there. I'm so floozy like at the moment. So no wonder my money story is like, but I do have 90% of my investment in XRP. So I do recommend that XRP. Okay, so I wanted to just jump on BITRUE. So I recommend BITRUE for everybody. So it's www.bitrue.com. Now, this is what it looks like. And I just play on the desktop. I do have the app as well. This is available to everyone worldwide. It does take a long time to get yourself set up. So it's the same setup process. You need to make sure that two-factor authentication is enabled. And with the app, so it just depends on what country you're in, what rules there are, but the goal is I want you to buy XDC, and I want to show you what this looks like. I have a little bit in here to be able to show you. The reason I want you all to have a look at XDC is because it's so low, like as in it's up to 0.02 or 0.04 at the moment, I'm not sure, but it's like we got in right at the beginning. So all these exchanges, I only have a little bit of coins. Like I don't have, all my big stuff is in, all my like volume is in Exodus. It's in the safe wallet. So I'm not playing with that. I'm not being floozy. I'm just floozing out on these individual coins that are coming onto the market that I know are part of the Flare network that are so low in entry point. So my assets here. It's just a bit slow. Okay, it's already open. I'm waiting for it. So Zinfin is XDC. You can get so many. So I've got $136 worth. Can you see that? But I've got like 5,000 coins there. So it's just so affordable, and we know that it's going to go up. So when I did an intuitive read on it, XRP and XDC were going to be the front runners. So there's all these other coins that have come to play. There's IOTA, there's Stellar, and I'll show you what these all look like for those who are not familiar. The other one is Flare. For those who didn't get the Spark drop on the 12th of December, then I would recommend buying some Flare. That's the Sparks. This is going to be like the Spark, like the gas, like Ethereum to enable transactions. Okay, so 90% of your portfolio is XRP. And if anyone needs to know why XRP, will go into more detail. And these are like if you've got a bit of extra money, XDC and a little bit of Flare. And Gala, if it interests you, Gala is the games network will be part of the Flare network. So XRP was originally designed for corporates. It wasn't designed for retail, for people like you and me, but it was designed to support gaming, like you think about the transactions, the processing, the technology, where it's going. So XRP on a corporate level supports real-time transactions, and it's solving $1 trillion problem. And they're going to focus on getting that right. Now, there's so many offshoots to that, which is what the other coins support. Remember that there's a whole heap of infrastructure and technology that has to support these processes. And if banks are bringing these into play, because think about the old, like it's like running on an old cable. Remember internet? It's like running on like old copper cables or things like that. When we've got satellite, we could have satellite free internet. Do you know what I mean? Like Starlink, think Starlink. So these are the types of technologies that you want to start looking at. And I'm going to jump over to COINSPOT and show you some of those. So yeah, these are the coins that I've got in here in BITRUE, just letting you know. Any questions on any of those?
So is this considered an external wallet? Or this
It's
is
like
just like another
it's another one. It's
another
just,
way to trade and okay,
you can't
right.
buy
Okay. All right.
XDC anywhere else, and you can't buy
Okay.
Flare anywhere else. So Flare is just IOU
Okay.
because the network hasn't opened. That will be part of it's just the only wallet that's got them up. I'll put them up for sale. I'll say up for sale. It's kind of jargon, but it's like, it's the only exchange that they're available on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So really important that 90% XRP, solving $1 trillion problem. Its price has been kept down. The XRP community are spiritually connected. They are intuitive. They are kind. They are compassionate. It's a totally different consciousness. And the reason is because we've been through the ringer. Like, you've seen it go up and down and up and down and up and down. And, you know, some of us have lost our coins. I was in Nexo and they cleared me out one day, 17,000 coins. And, you know, I wasn't a big player. that took me 3 months to build. So, I mean, things like that happen if they're meant to happen. And so there's a lawsuit going on with that. It's just exposing all this stuff where we've been defrauded all this time. You know, those markets, the markets are intentionally crashed. You know, it's all playing out right now. So I'll drop Intel, and that's what it's all kind of relating to. Okay.
XP is one that I have been sort of like avoiding, not necessarily avoiding on purpose, but there's so many that I'm like, okay, I'll look at this one and I won't look at that one. But because weren't they being like in a lawsuit with the SEC here in the US?
XRP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good point.
Yeah, so I've just been kind of holding on that one because I knew there was some stuff going on.
Yeah.
There.
So what you need to know is that this is in your favor. So get in now. So what you need to know, real world events, nothing is what it seems. So it's almost like a hoax. It's almost like a hoax lawsuit, and there's so much fraud that goes on. There's so much being exposed. So the light is getting shined on the truth. And the case against XRP, it's not even like worthy of being in court.
I think they may have already thrown it out in the last couple of days. I haven't actually known for sure, but yeah, so that's one I haven't really gone and looked at much because I was like, I'll look at some other things instead.
which is intentional. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is part of like a different consciousness. So it's like XRP, most people are not doing it, especially people who are committed to Bitcoin, who are loyal to Bitcoin. They're not even looking at it. So if you look at the volumes, XRP is third on the list. Okay. So somebody knows something, right?
I've heard a lot of people say they like it, but yeah, that's just something that
It solves $1 trillion problem. So if you're not investing in it, then clean and green isn't. It's almost like it's not important. It's like the clever people are invested, and those who don't know what they're doing are not. So yeah, and so we can have a look at that a little bit more. So I guess what's really important if you're in this space and you're not sure, it's to sort of go down your own rabbit holes and do your own research. But you know, you get on Twitter because it's like it's all here for you, and also get down some rabbit holes. And so I can share some stuff on Telegram. You know, most people don't have time to do this stuff. That's why I do it for you, and then I'll drop the intel. I think what's really important to know, nothing is what it seems. And so if you've done your due diligence on XRP, it's just so, look at Elon Musk, dodge all day, dodge all night. I mean, what a joke. I mean, buy some Doge. Like, it's just, he's playing with the markets. He's shoving it to them, going, hey, you've been crashing the market for so long. He's now working with Trump, and he's working with XRP. He's an engineer in the Flare network. Like, you know, it all lines up with what's going on, because as soon as he posts that, everyone buys Doge and we all get loads of money. So, you know, the community, you know, start to really understand. But if you really want to understand what's going on with XRP and SEC for your own discernment, just do, you know, Google search, search on Twitter. You know, you'll start to follow those people who really know what's going on. You know, it's just, Crypto Wolf is a good person to follow. It's just fluff. So yeah, so you know, are you doing yourself a service by, like, even if you put $100 in, you know, it's, you know that it solves a real world problem. You know that clever people are involved. You know that it's third volume on the list. So if I'm ever looking for volume, if this is how I look for coins, it's just really interesting. Because I'm self-taught, so some of you will have better methods, but these are mine. Like, I just jump on Binance. This is one you can use it's just an exchange you can use in the US. And I have a look at where the volume is, like who's putting volume in, and then I go and research the coin. So where would I go to markets, and then see how it says top movers in the corner. This is where we're all going to get to. You're going to say, hey, Lee, check out EGLD. And I'm like, what's that? What does it do? You know, has it got a use case? Like, what does it solve? And so, you know, a lot of these coins don't have use cases, and they're not part of the ISO 22 that I talked about, that part of the quantum financial system. This is where I go, large buy, large buy. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'll jump over to COINSPOT. For others, you could jump over to crypto or eToro or any other wallet that you're using. And this is where I place. This is my play wallet. And so I've got some coins that I'm watching. So these are all the XRP coins that I've dropped, XRP being the main one, Stellar, IOTA, Algorand. So they've all gone up in value. We all gone in around 30 cents, and they're all up to $1.30 now. They've all been like the quiet movers, while XRP has been held back. XRP is the main runner, which is really interesting. Algorand and all these other coins, part of the X family, and great how they're black and white. It just makes it nice and easy for you. So if you ever see a coin that's black and white, just use your intuition on it, because it's like, I go over here. I'll give an example of intuition. Den coin. See how it's black and white? I'm like, what does it do? And see how it's 0.002? You know, it's only $70 in there, but it's like, I watch it for you guys, and I see, you know, if it's good, if it's going up and it solves a real world problem, then it's got utility. I'm always looking for utility. It's got value. Now, if XRP didn't have utility and didn't hold and solve problems, and all the big banks weren't signing them up, then I wouldn't even look at it, and I wouldn't be, especially with a lawsuit happening, I wouldn't even be saying to you, invest. But, you know, it's very important that you discern yourself and go, oh, maybe I'll just get a little bit of XRP because I'm not sure, and maybe I'll look at other products. Pundi X, I'm just playing with this one at the moment, 0.003. Okay, and I think I had like $50 in there. It's up to 114 today. Yes, the market's in red. See how it's down 1.69. So a few days ago, this was all red, minus 20. This is when I said to everyone, good time to buy. We don't get sort of doom and gloom when the markets are low. There's the buying opportunities. And it's also the opportunities to go, I wonder when it's going to come back green. I wonder which one's going to work. So I've just got a few coins there that I play with, and I've got some utility in. I think I've got $1.84, but see how it's gone up 12.99%. I'm like, at 0.03, this is pretty cool. So for all of you, what I encourage you to do is get really savvy with buying on market. Okay, so what you'll notice in BITRUE, you'll get a choice whether to buy on market or limit sell, and I think there's another option, but you always want market rates. They're the better rates. And we're not at that stage yet where we're bidding what we want to pay for a coin. We're not at that stage yet, because we just want the transaction to go through. If we start going, actually, we only want to pay 50 cents for our coins, you know, this is where we start playing big, and we will get there. I reckon within a month, I think that we'll all be deciding and really starting to trade. This is what we call trading. It's like the buy and sell match. This is what they do on Wall Street, and then they short the market, take all your money. This is what was happening on Wall Street with, you know, where they short the market. They don't actually own your coins. They don't own them, but they go and do a transaction with them, take the profit. So this is why they're all, half of them are in jail, and the rest are going through law cases right now. What else do I want to show you? Referral, I want to show you now. I don't want to go into this on detail because this will be new for a lot of you. So Leslie, this will be your thing with the collectibles. So I was part of the Flare network test team and I've received a token. This is what's going to be, there's a couple of other platforms where artists, I want to show you this one if I can. Internet's a bit, but where artists actually can put their products on and the royalties will always stay with the original artist. So if you know someone or you're really good at digital art, then you can create utility. You can have, like, I want to show you crypto trees because this cool little graphic, but you're not just investing in a digital product. It's got utility and value because when they're actually planting real trees. So if you can go in and then you have to bid on it and you use Ethereum at the moment, but soon we'll be using Spark. And that's not too far away in the distant future. So this is the stuff that we get to play with. We also get to play with MetaMask. You'll see in my bar there, I have Flare Scan, Flare Farm, Flarex. This is me testing and playing in the Flare network. And so we'll go into detail on that as well when we all decide that we want to be part of that. And you would want to, because if you're looking for the passive or the active income, the daily income, then this is going to be a really lucrative space for people. But I don't want to go too deep with that stuff. Okay, what questions have you got? Is this the sort of stuff that you want to see? Is there anything else that you want to see?
No, that's awesome, Lee. I just popped some questions in the chat. It's Jazz.
Hey, Jazz.
Can you show us in BITRUE how we deposit in there? Because I know I asked you that the other day about it's not fiat. We're not going through Poly or anything to fund that account to buy the XTC. So I've just gone through all my authentication. I've got it all up, but I'm just working out how to actually get the funds in there.
Yep. So you will, the best thing to do is to send some XRP. So there's a couple of different options.
Yep.
So see how you've got on the left there, deposit.
Yep.
And Kate will be able to, Kate did this direct with bank accounts. So Kate, you might be able to jump on in a second, show us. And so you can do it with XRP, you can do it with Ethereum, you can do it with US Tether, USDT. So just send some coins and then you need to find the wallet, get the address. So I'm aware if I do not put the input tag, may cause a token. It's like all these warnings and people get freaked out.
That's
like,
where I was up to. And I'm like, okay, where do I go? Do I click on legacy address and do I tick that box? So it's a yes.
Yeah,
okay,
you do. Go forward and there's your XRP address and there's your ID tag. So you go back to COINSPOT and you go to whatever coin, is it XRP you want to send?
Yeah. Yep.
So whatever wallet it is, so wherever you have money, so you might have a few coins, Ethereum, XRP, you open the wallet and you send XRP, and this is where you copy and paste the address. So just send, your first time you don't need a lot to buy XDC, so you don't, you're $20, $100, like don't because people are catching the replay on this, just, you don't need a lot. I think I did $20. So, this is for women already just starting out, or if you just want to practice and play, but that's where you put your details. So will be the same for any other wallets.
Okay, so just tag and address. Cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Kate, you did this direct by credit card, but I wasn't sure whether that was just.
I also did it on the app on my phone.
Okay, cool. So you went deposit cash. How did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
This is all different to what's on the app. Have you got the app?
What was the outcome? What did you do? Did you add credit card?
Yes.
And you did it on the app?
I just put money straight in through credit card. How did that happen?
So you went to buy, sell? And you went to credit card here? Buy?
Yes. Yep.
Beautiful. So yeah, if you want to, so Jazz, if you wanted to add it that way, you could do it that way as well. There's a small fee. There's a small fee. I'm not sure what the fees are in the US. Perfect, Kate. Thank you. Yeah.
It's straight on the app and then just add funds and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's really quick.
There's a couple of different options. Now, if you send coins, And so if you're new to crypto, never like don't freak out going, oh, I don't know how to do this, because I'll go through sort of step by step for those who need to do this. But it's like, I love, Jazz, how you're just going for it because you've already got that experience. So what am I going to show you? So yeah, you might want to swap out. So say if I've got a little bit of XRP, for example, I'll go to trade. XRP tether. And then I'll just select XRP here. This is what the video goes into.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where you buy it on market. So this is a little bit more advanced. It's kind of, my screen's gone blank, but this is where the video kicks in, that 2-minute video. Make sure you're clicking market. I have clicked limit order before, and it will sit in your open orders. Sometimes with XDC, you've got to make sure the price points are a little bit, yeah, there's some tricks. If it sits in open orders, you've got to make sure that you're 1 or 2 points ahead of what the sell rate is and things like that. So that's where we start to get a bit more tradey. We start to really define what the market will be. We're defining what the price will be. Any other questions on that, Jess?
No, that's perfect. I got the video, all made sense. It was just, how do I fund the account? So that's cool. I bought some extra XRP in COINSPOT and now I'll send it over. So that'll make sense. And then the other question I had was, if you're in COINSPOT and we were part of the Spark Drop, can you show us what we do with that? How do we find it and what do we do with it?
Yeah, so that will be coming probably in 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, cool.
At the moment, we've not been given the drop, but
Okay.
we only have like 7 days to then swap it out, to decide to opt into the ecosystem. And
cool.
so I'll give you all the intel and the guidance for that. We might need to do 2 or 3 calls that week. And for those who didn't get the Spark Drop, who didn't have XRP at the time, you'll still get value out of this as well. And you might want to buy some Flare in BITRUE.
Thank you.
The Flare is going to be like, for those in the US, for Darcy and Leslie, Flare is going to be like the fuel, like the Ethereum network. It's going to be like the spark, the gas that will, like, it's the only way I can explain it, like push the transactions through, and it'll be a lot more efficient and a lot less electricity and a lot less pain on our economy. So yeah, so this is why XRP, and this is why all the big banks have signed up. So you can Google Bank of America, they signed up to the XRP network. I just don't know what's on mainstream. So if I need to dive deeper for you, give you like more intel, let me know. If you girls want that stuff, I'll drop that in Digital Intel Women. I'm just aware of all the different sort of learning points and where your interests lie. But if we all go together and you're not sure what that is, I just think, if you make this a priority, then, and you get your learning right, you get your nutrition right, and you let go, you take, release and get some bandwidth, release all the stuff that, all the other tools and systems that you're involved with, and just kind of focus on this, set this up, then you'll be thriving. The ecosystem's coming in a month to 2 months. So yeah, we'll be way ahead of the game. We'll be talking crypto to everyone. Okay, what other questions have you got? I did want to sort of, I don't know if you want to do this now, or because I've used up quite a bit of time, but if I would love people's intentions, and I don't know, do you want to say them out loud, or do you want to share in the thread? Because I think it's really important that it becomes like, no worries, Jazz. I think it becomes important that you really are clear on what you want to get out of this. So, because otherwise what happens is you think, oh, I'm not getting value because my portfolio is not like hers, or because I can tell you I started right at the bottom. So my intention was to learn as much as I could in this space, uncover all the truths, and be able to discern a good investment, have the connections and the intel and the forums, then to be able to share this with women who are interested in this space, who are digitally savvy and cares about our environment. So I'm going to get my outcome, because see how it's not about, oh, I'm going to make millions, or, I'm going to do this, because the money will come. The money comes if you've got the balance right. So how do you feel about that? Do you want to jump on and share your intentions? Are you going to go shy on me? Or would you prefer to have a think about it and then drop them in the thread?
I'm happy to share. I think mine is pretty similar to yours in a way, Lee. It's really just to expand my understanding and knowledge of the crypto space, and to be educated, and then be able to discern, like what you mentioned about what's a good investment. And for me, it's also fun. It's fun playing with these things and being a leader in this as well, being someone who can see what's possible to be able to support others to open up this as a possibility for themselves as well. So that's pretty much it for me, if that
Judy, I'm
is
so
specific enough.
happy. Yeah, I'm so happy that you are with us, because you are such a strong influencer and you've got such great energy. And if someone like you is interested in learning more, is so humble and wants to know the clean and green aspect, because you're already in the crypto space. It's just so profound, like what can happen here. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that you're interested to learn more, because there's a lot of spiritual leaders out there that are running MLMs in the crypto space or digital or whatever to make money for people, but they're so asleep to what's really going on. So it's such a back way of working now with Age of Aquarius, new energies. We all get to really nourish. Education cannot be taken away. So it's like such a good time. Such a good time. So much money to be made. So much.
Absolutely. So exciting. Thank you. I'm really honoured to be here.
Yeah, I'm
you.
so happy. Anyone else want to share?
Me, I will.
Yay.
My intention for this is to learn as much as I possibly can. I'm not going to lie, it's also to gain money and experience and learn a new way of being, because I think that's a really important thing, and like I want to see the new way, like the new system happen and be part of that and not have to be struggling anymore. So I want this to like fully take off and be able to share some of this information, and then be able to use my other time for other exciting things.
Yeah, I fully resonate with that. It's like I don't want to struggle anymore. So what this brings up is all the money stuff. So it's like, why not utilize this platform to just get it all out there right in the beginning when you're playing on 0.001 coins or 50 cents or whatever, get it all out. And so that you never, ever have to look back ever again. Like I cannot see any of you going backwards, if that makes any sense at all. Just like, how could you, if you had this knowledge, if you're playing in this space, if you're going into MLMs and things like that, like at least you'll have the awareness. I'm just really longing for connection and community. Oh, I didn't do anything with it. Oh, like you start to learn your habits, especially when you start to delve into human design, which we will go into quite deeply because it's imperative. Yeah, it's like no more like the struggle of this money thing. It's like, no. It's just not going to be welcome in this space. As long as you're not a floozy like I have been with the coins. Look how many coins I have. And I've actually let go of some of my boyfriends. So I had like 20 coins. But that's really to play so that I can really learn, so that I can then on share.
Yeah, fair enough.
You'll get there too. Yeah. Any other questions or anyone else want to share?
I'll share. Cool. I've been in this space for 2.5 months or so still super new, but I am like loving it so much that all my focus is moving to this space. And one of the big things I was missing was women in the space. I was listening to the YouTube videos by all the guys, and I got back on Twitter and started following people, but I was like, where are the women? So I'm actually going to be, I was sharing with Lee that I'm going to be starting a podcast for women in crypto, because
you'll all be stars.
Those voices, where are they?
Yeah, and it's really interesting what you're saying there. Thank you for sharing that, because it's like, you know, it almost got competitive there. There were a couple of women in the finance. They always have women in the finance on the news in the US. There was always women doing that. And it was
And they're very
like,
they come from the masculine place.
yes, exactly. And also you'll notice if you start to delve into Twitter and start to awaken in some of this space, which you are now because you're in 3 months, but it's like you start to see where they want attention, because we become such healed women, right? So grounded and with such good hearts and such good intention in this space. They'll have like this really flirty picture, and then they talk all crypto, but they're actually looking for attention, and you can feel it. I'm like, whoa, she's looking for attention. She's like, oh, if Bitcoin goes up to 50 grand, I'll get a boyfriend. And it's like they're wanting, oh, you're gorgeous, oh, you're amazing, and they're calling for attention. And it's a real put off. And I was just like, I'm done with this space. Like, it's like, right. So Leslie, we're going to recreate it. We're going to talk about it. And where intuition is the underlying foundation for this space. And most, well, I was going to say like stereotyping now, but most people don't know. Well, they're not awake. They don't know what's going on. They make out they do, but they have no clue. So we've got super, super savvy crypto people sharing graphs and doing this and doing that. And, and then the market crashes. They had no idea, but your intuition told you it was going to crash because you've got divine intel, right? So we know what's going on in the world. This is why we are way more advanced beings than some of these people that have been in this crypto space for years. All the accountants are going to have to retrain because all the laws are changing. All the so imagine that, like you become like so ego driven, you've got this big hotshot job, but it's like, actually my intuition, I actually know more. Interesting, right? So yeah, really good space. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I can share as well.
Cool.
Similar to everyone else as well, but I come from a finance, very old world money viewpoint and career and profession. So I'm really comfortable in that space. So this is like, new ground for me. I'm really looking forward to diving all in, understanding, like I really want to understand the structure and all the ins and outs, and, using my intuition and my tools that I have as well to really ground into it, because it's interesting. I've only been doing this for a few months now. And it's interesting, my fiat kind of old money stories, I've really worked through a lot. That's what I help people with in my job now. And it's interesting because you come into this space and it's like, oh, and I'm getting anxious. And it's this, up and down. And it's been so interesting to start playing in this world to allow even more money stuff to kind of come up to the surface. So anyway, my intention really is just to dive in, understand the systems and structures, use my tools I already have. I'm really excited to be in this community, and just, I hadn't even until tonight even thought about like I could do this full time, or I could do this a lot more. Like I've heard a few of you say that, and I'm like, that's really interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. So I'm loving this. I love the awareness, and I'm excited to get to know all of you.
Oh, you're so sweet, Darcy. And I love how, Facebook has connected all of us, and I'm grateful to Facebook for that. Many of you know how I feel about Facebook. It's my favorite platform. They can literally like close you out, like all the years of business building, and they can literally close you in 1 second. But what it's done, I'm so grateful for how it's connected all of us. And I'm so grateful for going back onto Facebook and sharing the 57,000 times more efficient and Bitcoin's restructuring, things like that. And a lot of you were interested in that, which is awesome. And so it's cheesy in a sense, but it's like XRP, Ripple is the company, but I'm looking for that ripple effect, because this was just a love project, and I didn't know where it would go, but I can see that it's really going to evolve into something quite magical. And you will all be part, as like founding, you will all be part of the evolution of it, like where it goes and who you share with and who comes into this space and that kind of thing. And you'll start to see the high performing women, and you'll see where they, in life, they have to let go of the control. The greatest lesson for all of us as independent women and financially independent as well, being super intelligent, is control. I've delved in and out of NLP and shed back the layers and all that kind of stuff, but it's the control has been the fundamental piece. Letting go, trusting the divine intel, and also start looking at language as well is really important, because even, you know, over the years, like the term in our law courts has been like, I understand, sir, I understand you, whereas no more. So the empowered woman understands, she gets it. And so it's just through language we can really start to empower ourselves, and we no longer understand anyone, because yeah, we're just not even looking for gurus anymore, are we? Because we've got our own intel. It's super, super powerful. You go, oh, there's something not right about that. Also, we've learned to take our intel one way. I invite people to look at if something comes up, it could be, oh, it's something for you to look at, or it's going to be good, but it's going to be good in a month, and it's good to get in now. A lot of women, you know, can't make decisions. It's like, oh, I'm not really sure. I know I want to do crypto, but I'm not really sure if I want to sort of do 3 months. This is all related to the gallbladder 5-element theory. If you can't make a decision, there's usually an imbalance. And so we'll delve into all those spaces as well. That's why your healing is so essential. Your headspace to play here is so essential. Anyone else want to share? Is there anything else? Any other questions? Megan said to absolutely learn and feel confident, being so new to this world. Yeah. And your energy, my love, is just so off the charts. I mean, this is what we call energetic exchange on steroids. You know, I don't know what I know unless you ask me questions, which is why please use the threads. And if you've got any questions about how that all works, so we've got the digital intel thread where you can ask, you know, get support in there. Obviously it goes on and on and on. We don't want to keep it too chatty. Reach out direct, but use that support forum, and, you know, rather than the private messages, because the learning really comes in that space. And then the intuitive trader is a separate immersion where I'll drop these videos and things like that, and these learnings to take you a bit more further and a bit more advanced. Where we're going to go, it's going to be like awesome. Like, it's not going to take us long. So just think where we are now, think where we're going to be in a month's time. Like, we will be betting that we're at the races, and we'll be playing. Yeah, we'll be increasing our portfolios on, no matter, it's just up to you to get through the money story. If you have $100, you just need to be proud of that. Grateful that you're in this space. You know, if you got $20, I started my first trade on $11. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, I can tell you, and it's pretty damn exciting. All right, so I might close out because I've kept you on here for ages. So if you're catching the replay and you've got any questions, just let me know, and just drop your questions in the thread. Any other questions for you ladies that are on live? If anything comes to you after this, oh, I've got a thought, or I needed to know this, or I need to do this, or I need to be ready, just remember we've got 3 months together. So just relax. Okay, you're in the right space to get the answers. You can't have it all like right now. That's part of the lesson. It takes commitment and loyalty to money to build the portfolio. Leave you with that. Thank you, ladies. Have a good evening. Have a good day for those that are in Aussie. And yeah, look forward to this journey with you. This is going to be awesome. Got chills the whole way through.